Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I have two new sculpts to paint, both from Reliving the Past Again. Great additions to your ape collection, generic gorilla and the orangutan. Look at that looks great, doesn't it? So I'm going to be trying to paint two today, so I'll be skipping over some of the obvious stuff like the eyes and mostly the gorilla because I painted him before. And I'll spend most of my time focusing on the orangutan, which would be a new figure for me. Well, the gorilla looks like a really easy figure to paint. It looks almost cartoonish in its features. So I think this is going to be really easy to paint. And, if you're new to painting, I say it all the time, what to start with. This might be it. So you can see that the hair is pretty well established. So you just have to follow it with your brush strokes. This looks like a really good one. I hope it doesn't look too cartoony when I'm done with it. Yeah, looking good. You know what? You can't have enough apes or gorillas in your gorilla army, right? I'm still working on putting together my gorilla army. And I've got quite a few figures in it. A friend of mine actually picked this up at a comic book store for me. He knew I'd been looking for him, so he saw it, got it for me, and I'm really grateful for it. It also had the black bandolier, which I understand is kind of difficult to find. So a double win, right? I guess check out your local comic book stores and your local toy stores, right? Not just Walmart. Oh yeah, that's looking good. I think I'm going to do the rest of his hair off camera. Well, I got the hair done. It's important when you paint these, because there's a lot of coverage on them, is to keep your brush wet, I'm not saying that it should be dripping or whatever, but just kind of like wring it out into the paint. It'll help keep the paint moist as well. And then if you do that, you're going to get some really nice smooth lines and coverage with your brush, right? It'll last longer too. So I guess just a helpful hint if you're painting these miniatures, especially on the close-up stuff, you're going to need a nice well-pointed tip. Yeah, but boy, that looks great, doesn't it? I'm gonna go ahead and get the eyes done. Let's see if I can do those on camera. I'll at least get one done. Yeah, I'm really liking these resin sculpts. I think I'm painting more of these than I have, like Dr. Mego's or the casted ones. Actually, I have a casted one that I'm going to be working on soon, which is really going to be cool. I'm just waiting for a couple of items to come in to kind of like accent the piece. But when you do the eyes, make sure that you start in the middle and work up, right? See? So you have a little white underneath the eyes. And again on this side, same position. Start in the middle and work up. Looks like that one went awry. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that one. I'll be back. I got the eyes done. I put the little dots in there as well. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking a little bit of my Agrax Earthshade and I'm just going around the eye, just kind of darken them a little bit. This will define the eye for you as well. I do it both above and below. It also darkens the eye sockets a little bit. See the effect it gives you? And then let me put a little in the mouth. Again, I'm just using the Agrax Earthshade. I'm going to be painting the lips, probably a Cadian flesh tone. And so let me go ahead and get in the recesses here. Boy, that's looking great. And then across the brow. So you can see the effect that gives you. I'm also going to trace around where the hair meets the scalp, just so I can kind of darken that a little bit. Anything I missed, it'll kind of cover. Boy, it's looking good, isn't it? And these washes, you know, if you're painting these miniatures, I think they're probably a must-have, you know, and the ones that I would get would probably be, well, you know, definitely Agrex Earthshade, right? You can see I use it a lot in my miniatures, or my painted heads. And I'd probably do the black as well. And then probably the Reikland's Flesh shade. Boy, it's looking good. I think I'm going to add some black in the hair, and I think I'm going to call this guy. I think he's done. Oh, and the lips. Now for the lips, you know, you just want a very thin coating. You don't want them to look too made up, you know, you want them to look kind of natural. Looks like I'm going to have to go back with my Agrex Earthshade and fill that in. Okay, I'm also going to do the snout while I'm here. This will kind of give it, I guess, more natural appearance. And this paint, this Cadian flesh tone, is not really that much different than the brown boots that I'm using as my base coat. But look at what it does for it. Doesn't that look great? Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and apply the wash to his lips and also the black to his hair. Yeah, I'm just using some Nolans oil. There's some gloss. I don't know, I debated whether I should use the gloss or not, but I don't really want them, I don't want the hair to have too glossy of appearance. I know that it did in the movies. There was a little bit of gloss to it, but I'm afraid that that would just give me too much gloss. Boy, this is looking good. It's, you know, you can really see the hairs that are in the sculpt, and this kind of like just brings them out. So just follow the scalp line, make sure that you're filling in those creases where the individual hairs lay. It's not really that noticeable, but it's kind of a finishing touch. You know, it will accent those strands of hair and make them look a little more noticeable. Because, you know, they're in the sculpt and they look great. So you might as well just make sure that you're bringing them out. Boy, that face looks great, doesn't he? It looks awesome. He's going to be a great addition to my ape army. You know, it's really hard to find additional apes for your gorillas. So this is a great little find here. And I think they're brand new. I hadn't seen them before. I think that maybe he just came out with them. But he has a great selection. You know, I usually get my Star Trek stuff over there as well. Boy, look at the way that accents the hair. Looks great. I need to let it dry a little bit. But yeah, that's just awesome, isn't it? Look at that. Okay, final step is I'm going to spray it with my matte clear enamel after it dries. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the orangutan next. Now my orangutan is going to have a flesh face, and I'm going to use my Cadian flesh tones for that. I've wet my brush so that the paint will adhere smoothly. I don't want it to be splotchy, that's for sure. And if you get some in the hair, don't worry about it, because you know what you're going to do? You're going to be painting that pretty soon. You can see that this flesh tone actually matches the color of the body. I got the body at Classic TV Toys. It's one of their cheap little Mego-like bodies. You know, he's going to be covered up in clothing, so I really don't have to worry too much about what's seen on his body. Boy, look at these individual hairs up here. I think I'm just going to go across and then just paint them later when I do the hair. Yeah, remember, if you get extra paint outside the lines here, it's not going to matter because you're going to be painting the hair. But you want to get inside of these little, I guess, recesses where the hair lays. I think I got a little too much water. Let me thicken this up. I love these acrylic paints though. They're so forgiving, and if you make a mistake, you can just reach out and totally scrub it, right? Don't really have to worry about them. And if you spill them on the floor, you know, you clean them up. I'm not gonna tell my wife, but well, maybe she's gonna be watching this video. I've spilled on the floor before and gotten it up without her knowing. I mean, I'm not trying to keep anything from her, but, you know, I don't want to add to her aggravation. She already doesn't like me painting on this table. Yeah, that's looking good. I'm gonna have to let that dry though. Boy, that's gonna be great looking. I don't know, I was a little, I guess, hesitant about my color choice here with the Acadian flesh tone, but I was looking at some of the stills, and it looks like a flesh tone, like a darker flesh tone. So we'll see how that goes. You know, I think I can paint the hair. Let's see, I've got my Walmart Golden Glow, and I'm going to use a Reichland Flesh Shade Wash. I think that's going to make the hair a little redder, like a reddish brown. So I think it's going to be a really good effect overall. Probably use it on the flesh as well, on the exposed parts. Got to stay away from that right now. Looks like I'm going to need 2 coats. That's the thing with this Walmart paint. I mean, it's cheap, but it's kind of cheap for a reason. You know, it works. I've used it quite a bit. Had some really good results with it too. But you know, it's just I'm spoiled with those Citadel paints, I think. Yeah, look at that. It's going to look good. Let me cover the face, or close to the face, so you can see what the contrast is going to look like. Because I'd like to know that too, you know. Oh yeah, that's going to look great. I'm going to paint the rest of the hair off camera. I'll be back for the finer details though. You can see I got his hair painted. I still need to do his neck down there. But next part, I'm going to tackle the eyebrows. Now this one has eyebrows, so it's pretty well established. I'm going to start over here and just follow them. Kind of thick, so they're easy to paint. See, pretty easy. Wow, it's coming along really nicely. I think the next thing I'm going to do is let him dry, and then I'm going to do the washes on him. But yeah, looking good. Now for the lips, I'm gonna have to do something a little bit different. I'm using a really pink-looking flesh tone because you know the Acadian flesh I can't use because it'll just get lost. So I'm gonna use a little bit of this pink that I have. This is called Flump Pink. I don't know. You won't be able to find it though because it's an old paint from Dungeons and Dragons. But you know, you should be able to find something in a flesh tone. Too much paint. got nice big lips too, so really easy to paint. Both of these guys are really easy. So if you're looking for customs for your Planet of the Apes, you want to get into this, this might be your opportunity. Look at that, pretty cool. And I'm also going to do his snout, his little nostrils here. Just kind of like, I guess, a highlight. Wow, this guy's looking great. Look at that. I think he's pretty much dry. I'm gonna try the Reikland's Flesh shade. You know what? I better wait. You know, because if the hair is even the little least bit damp or whatever, it's going to run. So let me go ahead and make sure I let him dry. I'm gonna leave him here for like maybe half an hour or so. So far so good. Looking. I could probably just leave him like that, couldn't I? He looks great. But I'll be right back. Well, here's my Reikland Flesh shade. I got a gloss on this too. Make sure you don't get the gloss. I mean, I'm sure this has its applications. I picked it up by mistake, so, you know, it has a weird consistency. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this to kind of like show off the detail in the hair. Kind of like what I did with that black wash, the Nolan's oil. But you can see this is really highlighting that hair. I might use it on the face too. Boy, look at that, that looks great. Yeah, I'm so pleased with these sculpts. You know, I'm just having a good time doing these customs. People have been doing this for years. You know, customizing. I just got into it, you know, and I've had a good time doing it. There's some people out there who do some amazing stuff with Mego. I'm really, you know, kind of a beginner, I guess. I mean, I got some experience painting miniatures when I was a kid. You know, I think a lot of you might have that same experience, you know, and they just didn't look too well. They didn't look good. So you might have given up. I know I have some whole collection of miniatures that I gave up on. I'm taking them out and kind of working with them. You know, because they're older, you can't find those anymore. A lot of them. Or if you do, they're very, very expensive. Boy, look at that. Look what it's doing. It's just bringing out those individual strands of the hair. Wow, and it's giving it a really good color too. Oops, looks like I'm gonna have to do the flesh with this as well. But you know, it's a flesh tone, so I'm not worried about doing it. I was actually planning on doing it anyway, but kind of forced my hand there. Wow. You add a little water though. Try not to get it in the eyes. You want to get it all around though, all around the eyes. Just try to keep it out of them. Boy, look at the detail in that. This really brings it out. Look at that. Wow, it's gonna look great when it's dry. I am so excited to see this guy. that little thing there? Oh, it looks like a bubble. Boy, it's gonna look great. This isn't the gloss, is it? Nope. I might go back and dry brush. What is up with that chin? I think I touched it. Maybe my hands were a little greasy or something. My hands have been dry, so my sister gave me this really cool lotion, but I guess I have to be careful what I touch. Yeah, I'm gonna let that guy dry and see what he looks like. I think I'm gonna have to do a little dry brush on the hair. But yeah, other than that, he looks great. Let's let him dry. Well, he's dry and he looks really good, you know. I'm going to bring down some of the splotchiness though by doing a dry brush. I'm also going to take care of his eyebrows because they got kind of like, you know, lost with the wash. So I'm going to bring up the details that I need, but still keep those accents on the recessed parts. So I'm just going to repaint the eyebrows. I don't have to repaint the whole thing, just the upper portion of them. Because they got too darkened with the shade. And I'm also going to paint the little wisps up at the top. Just to make them a little more pronounced. I'm just putting a couple of natural highlights where they would go. And I'm going to dry brush the rest. Okay, now I'm going to do the dry brush. Again, you know, don't use a new brush, use an old brush. Sorry about the camera. Use an old brush, you know, because it's going to damage the brush. So just thoroughly coat it with your paint, right? And then dab off 90% of it, and then just run the brush across. You're just picking up a little bit of paint, barely any. And it's just going to bring down some of the splotchiness. And it's going to pick up the highlights where it should be highlighted. Looks good, huh? Wow, it's giving that hair a very cool effect. Wow, very pleased with it. Looks great. I think I'm gonna do this too. There's a couple areas on his flesh that didn't get the highlights that I wanted. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back with the Cadian flesh tone and maybe even that pink. Let me do the pink instead. Because, you know, it looks like his lips got darkened and you really can't see him anymore. And the snout. So I lost that that effect I was going with the highlighting. So let me go ahead and reestablish that. So I guess on this one, just wait till the end to paint those lips. And the snout or the nostrils. Looking good. I might do his cheeks too. Boy, that looks great. I think he's ready for my my clear coat enamel. I finished the gorilla. Let me show you that one. Sprayed him with my matte clear coat. Looks great, huh? This is the old school Dr. Mego ape outfit with the new bandolier. I didn't use the black one because it's going to get lost there, so I'm going to save the black one for something else. But boy, he looks great. They're my apes, you know. I did the final step on both of these, and I put my matte clear enamel. It's a great way to preserve your paint job and to, you know, kind of bring down any sheen and stuff and give it a nice uniformed appearance. But wow, they look great, don't they? My ape over here, my gorilla, has an outfit from Dr. Mego. He still carries those older outfits with the mittens and stuff. So I wanted this guy to really look custom, so I used that outfit from Dr. Mego. My orangutan over here, I think he's using a chimp doctor's outfit from Classic TV Toys. But you know what? I want him to be my archaeologist, so it works out great. He came out awesome. Look at this. I was afraid that the sculpts would be a little bit too cartoony, you know, but they're fabulous. Look at the detail on this one. Oh, I dropped his baton. Let me see if I can get him a little closer. Look at that. You can see the sheen in the hair. I mean, you know, the detail on these is just incredible. You know, these resin prints, I guess you can do a lot with them nowadays. And look at the hair effect. It came out really neat. You know, that wash with the Reikland's Flesh Shade and then the dry brushing really brought it out. And you can see I redid the lips. You can see those a lot more easily now. But yeah, overall, these guys look great. They're going to add a lot to my custom ape collection. You know, I'm putting together an ape army and some auxiliary characters, and this is a great way to do it. These two new sculpts from Reliving the Past. Awesome buys and easy to paint. You know, the orangutan may be a little more difficult, you know, if you're not used to washes and stuff and highlighting, you know, but you don't need to even do that. You could just paint him, you know, pretty much straightforward and he'd still look great. You know, look, I did that with the gorilla and the gorilla is just fabulous, you know, but overall, very pleased with these guys. Really nice additions to my ape army. Well, I hope you had fun watching this. You know, I'm having a good time presenting these to you. And I hope that you guys do your own custom Megos and get in on this fun. You know, like I said, I missed out on it originally, but I'm picking it up now. But until next time, you guys have a great time, and we will see you later. Take care now. Bye-bye.